Welcome, wrestling fans, to the first episode of LCW's Legends of Wrestling. I am the voice of LCW, Commissioner Mike Barrington.
Whoa, Mike. I am the true voice of Legend City Wrestling, John Biz. And in this premiere episode, we see Mr. Fantastic go head-to-head with the unpredictable Krimson.
And after that, of course, I've got a special announcement for all the fans. Stay tuned for that.
Let's not waste any more time, Mike. Let's head down to ringside right now.
Welcome, wrestling fans, to the very first edition of LCW's Legends of Wrestling here on NTV. I'm the voice of LCW, Commissioner Mike Barrington.
And I'm the true voice of Legend City Wrestling, John Biz. And Mike, we see here the unpredictable Krimson making his way to ringside.
Krimson, of course, in a match tonight against Mr. Fantastic. And John, this has been deemed a street fight.
And I can't wait to see what this maniac has in store for the great hypocrite Mr. Fantastic. In a no DQ street fight, things are going to get ugly here quick, Mike.
Definitely. And Krimson, of course, the leader of the Dead Wrestling Society.
And here he comes, Mr. Mask, Mr. Hypocrite, Mr. Liar. You folks know him as Mr. Fantastic. He's managed to lie to all of you and make all of you love him by his misinformation.
Misinformation, John? I think you're in a minority group because the fans here at the Jack Byrne Arena in Torbay seem to be firmly behind Mr. Fantastic.
Of course they would. He makes them feel special. He comes out and flexes, calls all the little kids his Fantastics, when in reality, Mr. Fantastic is nothing more than the biggest bully on Legend City Wrestling's roster right now.
I believe you have him confused with Krimson, who's there in the corner. Krimson definitely one of the dirtier players on the LCW roster.
Well, you know what, Mike? Tonight, everything is legal here in Torbay, and I can't wait to see what Krimson does to Mr. Fantastic. I hope he takes his head off.
Well, there goes Krimson's mask, revealing his face paint.
And here we go now. A couple of stiff shots to the head. I think those were closed fists, Mike.
Closed fists, John? I think, if anything, Mr. Fantastic is trying to counteract any foolery that Krimson may come up with.
And look at that fall-away slam. This is nothing more than gamma rays gone wrong. I can't believe this jacked-up, masked freak is actually allowed to compete in a Legend City ring.
And there you see Krimson, of course, bailing to the outside. Perhaps he's got a little bit of fear for Mr. Fantastic.
Not a little bit of fear. He's taking a minute to slow this down. And look at this. Now, Mr. Fantastic hauling Krimson up by his hair.
I think he was just bringing him back into the ring, sir.
And here we go. Krimson now really giving him what for. And look, Mr. Fantastic is attacking him while he's on the outside of the ring. How is that remotely safe?
Well, again, John, Krimson is known as one of the dirtier players on the LCW roster, and I think Mr. Fantastic is just trying to counteract any of that activity.
Counteract any of that activity. From what I can see, he's instigating this activity as he takes a beating. He takes it outside, and he's now taking Krimson through the fans that he claims to love. He is putting all of those fans in direct danger right now. And Chris Walsh, the official, has a clear obligation to keep those fans safe and get this action back inside the ring.
Well, John, it is a street fight, and I think that Mr. Fantastic, out among all of his Fantastics, certainly got the advantage here.
And here we go, Krimson now turning the tide quickly. He's going to sit him down in the chair now. One stiff
what's
chop.
coming here?
I don't really know. This man is so unpredictable. You don't really know what he's going to do. It really depends on which voice he's talking.
Oh, no. Oh, right on the concrete floor of the Jack Byrne Arena, John.
And all the Fantastics standing idly by. Who's going to help you, Mr. Fantastic? Nobody. You're in the clutches of Krimson and the Dead Wrestling Society now, punk.
Well, this certainly action is picked up.
Here we go. Krimson now chasing Mr. Fantastic. Kind of looks like Fantastic is trying to run away from this fight, Mike.
I don't think he's running away at all.
And here we go now. Smacks his face off of the entrance ramp. Krimson getting up on the entrance ramp with Fantastic.
What could be coming
now.
Up here?
Setting him up. Mike, is he going to do what I think he's going to do?
John, if he hits this, he's going to break Mr. Fantastic in two.
Here it comes. He hits this Fantastic, and all the little Fantastics are
he's
finished.
Blocked it. He's blocked it again. Oh, my goodness. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, fans. We're here with this match. It's a street fight, Mr. Fantastic versus Krimson.
And Krimson now trying to regain some of the steam that he lost during the commercial break, but Mr. Hypocrite has been doing a great job of turning him away.
Well, in case any of you missed it, of course, Mr. Fantastic was successful in performing a suplex to Krimson on the entrance ramp.
But Krimson now, the tide is seem to have turned back to Krimson as a lateral press and a 2 count only. Might I add, Chris Walsh, that was a little bit of a slow count there.
It would seem slow to you, wouldn't it, John?
Of course it would, because it was slow.
I don't believe so.
And here we go. What's Krimson going to do here now? Looks like he's trying to set Mr. Fantastic up.
I don't know what this is, John. I'm really confused. Mr. Fantastic seems to be, battling out of it.
Of course he battled out of it, and Chris Walsh once again must be blind, blatantly pulling on the shoelaces there of Krimson's wrestling boots.
I do believe they're leather buckles.
Here we go, and now...
What could this be? Could Mr. Fantastic be trying for the TKO here? Who is this?
It's Kiyoshi!
Oh my goodness!
The other half of the Dead Wrestling Society here now, and now Mr. Fantastic is going to get the beating that he actually deserves.
And this match is actually no disqualifications, so I don't know what the referee Chris Walsh thinks he's going to do.
Here we go now.
Unless, of course, he throws it out.
Krimson now picking up what's left of Mr. Fantastic. Looks like they've already beat him down.
Kiyoshi is calling for the... Well, what's that, John?
What is... Who is
that?
It's Kevin Nash!
Big sexy Kevin Nash coming into an LCW ring!
What is he doing out here?
I can only hope he's coming to the aid of Mr. Fantastic.
I'm speechless!
So am I, John!
Why is Kevin Nash out here right now? He has nothing to do with this match, no vested interest whatsoever.
You can see he's taking his time, methodically walking towards the ring. The intimidation factor is at 150. And yes, indeed, it seems that he's on Mr. Fantastic's side. He's calling for the microphone. Let's listen in.
Boy, oh boy, are you guys in luck tonight. My opponent found out he was wrestling me and left the building. So I've got nobody to wrestle tonight. I've already put my gear on. Since you two boys are so tough 2-on-1, why don't we make this a tag match?
A tag match, John!
No. That cannot happen. Neither Kiyoshi nor Krimson have scouted Kevin Nash. They're not ready for a tag match. Kiyoshi wasn't even actually supposed to be in action tonight.
Well, be that as it may, it appears we've got ourselves a tag match.
This is a bad decision right now. If I'm the Dead Wrestling Society, I'm just walking away. They have absolutely nothing to prove here. They've already beaten down the freak of nature, Mr. Hypocrite, but now they're going to have to contend with a future Hall of Famer, Mr. Glory Hound, Mr. Moneybags himself, Kevin Nash.
Just look at the size of Kevin Nash, even compared to Mr. Fantastic.
And it looks like the Dead Wrestling Society have accepted this challenge, showing the true grit of these two young performers.
And the big man, Kevin Nash, looks like he wants to start this match with a test of strength with Kiyoshi. And let's see where this goes. Oh, of course not. It's a big boot to the stomach. Folks, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, fans. We've got Mr. Fantastic and Kiyoshi in the ring. And just before the break, we saw the tag team form. The Dead Wrestling Society, Krimson and Kiyoshi versus Mr. Fantastic and Big Sexy Kevin Nash.
And this is what really burns me about Legend City Wrestling. Rules are out the window as far as it goes to Mr. Hypocrite, Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, and a 2 count there.
And... you know, once again, you're just going to interrupt me, Mike. Every single time I seem to talk, you interrupt me.
Every single time, John. You can count on it.
Here comes Glory Hound, spotlight stealing Kevin Nash now to pick the bones of Kiyoshi, who, may I add, was not prepared to compete tonight.
Well, he should have thought about that, John, before he interfered in the match.
And a spinning heel kick.
Oh, the big man goes down.
That is one way to beat Kevin Nash. take away his vertical base so he can't use any of those big weapons.
Krimson now just plummeting away at Kevin Nash. Chris Waltz struggling to get control back in this match as Mr. Fantastic rallies the crowd.
And here we go now. Krimson looking to keep the big man down. Looked like possibly a chokehold there.
Oh, he's still down. Krimson definitely trying to choke out the big man.
I think that's their best strategy at this point.
Oh, he's trying to knock Mr. Fantastic down. What has he got there? Is he pinching a nerve?
That is a nerve pinch, Mike. And let me tell you, that is painful, especially after a severe beating like Kevin Nash just took from the Dead Wrestling Society.
Oh my goodness! And of course, Kevin Nash is not unfamiliar to neck injuries as well.
Here we go, Kiyoshi back in the ring now. Kiyoshi, of course, trained by the great Muda, and an ever-dangerous technician.
We see shades of that because Kiyoshi sometimes tries to use that mist to his advantage.
Right now, it seems like there's no need for it, as the Dead Wrestling Society in firm control of this impromptu tag match. Chris Walsh observing the action here now, making sure that everything is on the up and up. And for once, it's kind of nice to see him do his job and do it well.
Oh, right on the arm of the big man.
Here we go. And this is what wins tag team matches here. Experience. Isolating the man in the ring in your corner.
And here Mr. Fantastic is trying to get in. We got a double team happening, John. How are you going to word your way out of this one?
I'm not. I think this is great. The referee's back is turned, and here comes the Dead Wrestling Society doing what they do best, making sure that they're going to walk out of here with the win, even with a freak of nature and a future Hall of Famer in the ring against them.
And now blatantly, both of them. Oh, and look, Kevin Nash takes them both down.
Almost a move out of desperation, however. In order for this match to go the way that Nash and Fantastic want it, Nash needs to get up and make that tag.
And here you see Mr. Fantastic rallying the crowd and trying to get Mr. Kevin Nash up for that tag.
And Krimson now stirring a little bit, and Kevin Nash still hasn't moved. He may be out. That double clothesline may have taken everything out of the tank of big, sexy Kevin Nash.
And there you see Krimson just barely moving. Oh, but here comes the big man.
All three men now struggling to get to their feet. And I'm actually having a difficult time remembering which one.
Oh, and there's the tag. Here comes Mr. Fantastic.
Fantastic now cleaning house. This doesn't look good for the Dead Wrestling Society. They need to get this momentum back.
Oh!
Huge spine buster by Fantastic. And look.
Oh, only a 2 count.
Only a 2 count. And even on a fast count, because there's nothing but biased officiating here in Legend City Wrestling when it comes to Mr. Fantastic.
Well, you seem to love the referee earlier in the match, John.
Well, that's when he was actually doing his job.
Oh, Mr. Fantastic trying for the TKO on Krimson, but Kiyoshi interrupts. And what's this? A big choke slam to Kiyoshi.
Now, see, this is where the referee should intervene here. Kevin Nash is not even...
And here it comes. Is he going to hit it? There's the TKO. 1, 2, and 3. Mr. Fantastic and Kevin Nash take it.
This is a travesty of justice. Chris Walsh should be reprimanded for biased and shoddy officiating, but I know it won't happen. Mike, you're the commissioner. You should do something to fix this.
Maybe after the break, I got a special announcement. Don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me live backstage at this time is the biggest hypocrite in Legend City Wrestling history, a man who feels it necessary to hide behind a mask and has fooled all you people at home into thinking he's a hero. You call him Mr. Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Johnny Biz. I think it's time for you to leave now because we're done listening to you talk. Well, let me tell you something there, wrestling fans. Mr. Fantastic has been battling all over this island with a man named Krimson. We were battling through months and months of pain and turmoil until one night, the biggest show in the history of LCW, Krimson, fantastic street fight to end all street fights. But obviously Krimson couldn't get the job done. So what does he do? He calls upon Kiyoshi. The two of them try to keep me down. But I called in a favor. I got the big man, Kevin Nash, to come in and back me up. And the two of us versus the two of them wasn't even close. So remember that next time, Krimson, that you step in the ring with Mr. Fantastic, you can call on whoever you want. You can call on Kiyoshi, you can call on Mike Hughes, it doesn't matter. Because when you step in the ring with Mr. Fantastic and all of his little fantastics, man, the final result for you will be anything but fantastic.
Good evening, everybody! For those of you who don't know, my name is Mike Barrington, and I am the LCW Commissioner. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm out here right now to deliver to you the man you came here to see. It gives me great honor to introduce to you Bret the Hitman Hart!
Welcome back, wrestling fans, from the break. And my broadcast colleague, LCW Commissioner Mike Barrington, has just introduced the legend himself, Bret the Hitman Hart, who's live right here on his way to an LCW ring. I have goosebumps. He said it was a special announcement, but I didn't think it was going to be anything this huge.
Very often I get to hear that song anymore, so I kind of like to let it rumble on and hear it just for old time's sake. Anyway, I want to thank everybody tonight for coming out and seeing me and seeing all the rest of the wrestlers back there. I can't tell you how much I wish that I could come out here and put on a nice match for you guys like I used to years ago. Thank God Kevin Nash is back there carrying a little bit of the workload. But for me, it's always a special memory coming back to St. John. You know, talking to a lot of the fans and getting to reminisce about the old memories of, you know, for me, when I was coming here today, I was kind of scratching my head going, I wonder what my last match that I had here was. And I found out from my fans it was 97, tagged up with my brother Owen, bless his heart, taking on Mick Foley and Steve Austin. And just hearing about that and having people, you know, describe that memory means a lot to me because I know, speaking for my brother Owen now, I know whenever we came to Canada and whenever we came to St. John, we always gave 100% every night. And I guess that's why we still got so many fans that still come out and pay respects to the great Hart tradition that my father set for all of us years and years ago. But I just want to say it was a real pleasure to be here. I wish I could have got in here a couple of days earlier like I was supposed to see St. John's the way I've always imagined it. I want to blame Air Canada, but I don't know if I can. Maybe I've got to blame Mother Nature for not getting in here sooner. But thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for letting me be part of your lives here and still remembering me the way I want to be remembered. Well, thank you, St. John's. Anyway, I just want to thank all the wrestlers back there for letting me be part of the show and letting me come out here and get all the credit and take all the glory when they're all back there doing all the work. And I know they've worked hard for you tonight and given you some great action. Thank you, St. John's. You're the greatest. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Bret the Hitman Hart, right here at Legend City Wrestling. That's all the time we have right now. For my broadcast colleague, LCW Commissioner Mike Barrington, I'm John the Biz Bennett. Please join us next time.